Hello everyone, my name is Funeka, and today I was gonna talk about my side views, but I've decided just to talk more about business in general as opposed to talking about the program itself. This is motivated by a very interesting conversation I've had with my team yesterday. You know, it is my opinion that in general, if you are going to put energy, effort, time into anything in general, the least you can do is to learn about whatever that thing is. Here's the thing, you cannot consider yourself an entrepreneur or a business person if you don't have a good business mindset, guys. You've got to have your mindset correct. You've got to have an attitude that is good for the environment that you're in. You've got to have that mentality that is good for the environment that you participate in. It amazes me sometimes in the groups on Facebook particularly. Because Twitter, is the post goes so quick and so fast, and to go back to history can take some time. But on Facebook, that is where you actually see the attitude of people that come into the groups, inquiring and trying to find information. You've got to have a business mindset in these programs or your success will be limited, guys. It's very, very important to have a good attitude. For instance, how can you put money in a program that you do not understand how it works? That to me says you did not do your due diligence. You did not investigate the program. You did not research the program. You have no clue whatsoever how the program works. And there you are putting 10,000, 50,000, 100,000 on a program that you don't know how it works. Somebody please explain to me, how do you do that? Are you a business person? Are you having the right attitude or the right mentality? How can you do that? Before I put my money in a program, I do my due diligence. First things first, I first find out as much as I can. What is my risk? How long do I think the program is going to last for? Who is the owner of the program? If I can find all of that, I will do that. And I will tell you why I do such things. I do that because in every program that I join, I make sure that I have a strategy. I know most people call it an exit strategy, but I try at the very best to make sure that I have a strategy. The most important thing on my strategy is risk and time. Risk in terms of I need to plan. I need to find out how quickly do I need to get my money back out of this program. What is my gut feel? Do I think this program is going to go quickly? Do I even trust the program that much? Things like that. So what is my risk? What is my time? But for you to have a strategy in a program, you need to have done your due diligence. How can you have a strategy if you haven't even investigated the program? And for you to even think strategy and think due diligence, you need to have a business mindset. You need to have the right attitude. You need to have the mentality of a person who believes is in a program or in a resource that's going to make him money. Otherwise, any of these things will not matter. Hence, you will find yourself in a program and yet you don't know how it works. You don't know how to withdraw, but you've put money there. And there's another thing that you guys are doing that amazes me. You take your money, You go and give it to someone else who's just a member like you to put it in a program that you yourself can do personally. I don't understand these kind of things. I really don't understand them. I mean, if you're a business person first, your attitude will be right. You will understand the risk that you are in. You make sure that even if you are already in the program, you try and learn as much as you can. I mean, where's your passion? Because all of these things you would do if you're a passionate person. I never do things that I don't like because, if you do something you don't like, you'll be negative. Your attitude will be wrong. Your mentality will be wrong. Your mindset will be wrong. Why are you playing with your money? If I was introduced in a program and for some reason I didn't know how my money was gonna come out of it, I will not put my money in such a program. At the very least, if I'm going to put in money, I need to know how to get my money out. I need to know what are the terms and conditions of this program that I'm participating in. Somebody please hit me in the head because I don't understand this. How is it possible that a person can take 10,000, 50,000, whatever the amount and put it in a program and yet they don't know how the money is going to come out? They've never read the terms and conditions? Seriously? I don't understand this. Let me also add this. If you are going to participate, especially in programs like we are participating in, you need to have a very strong mentality. And you need to have a flexible mindset. Above everything else, you need to have tolerance for ambiguity, guys. Fear is the worst thing that can happen to anyone. In fact, in my life, I've seen people's dreams die because of fear. You've got to control your fear. If you are already in a program and you don't know how it works, sit down, Google it, talk to someone, find out as much as you can so that you can get your control back. Instead of getting frustrated and actually hitting in the mouth the people who are trying to help you. People come to our Facebook pages and they are already kicking and screaming because they failed to do their due diligence. Why? Why do you even find yourself in such a position? It's because you do not have the correct mindset and the right attitude. And yet there you are, putting money into something you do not understand how it works. How is that even possible? I don't know. My attitude in business is where to make the money, how to make the money, and how to save my money. The last time I took money out of my pocket to join a program online was with, I think the program I had joined at the time, it used to be called Macro Trade. It was like maybe 5 years ago. What I do in the programs that I join, I put money on program 1. I take my interest from program 1, I join program 2. I take my earnings from program 2, I join program 3. I always have 5, 6, 7, even 10 at some point programs that I'm part of, that I've researched. I know how to get my money out of these things. If I'm able to find information who owns the program, I will do that. Even though I know that knowing who owns the program does not necessarily gives you comfort. A very good example of that is we know who's the owner of MMM, but what good is that doing us now? You know what I'm saying? We didn't know who the owner of KP was. It's not doing us any good either. So, even though you do your due diligence, it's very important to assess the risk and assess the time. So, what I'm trying to say here, guys, is that you need to change your attitude. You really need to change your attitude. If you want to stay in these programs and actually make money, you need to change your attitude. And the other thing is, people make money in these programs and they lose the money. I don't understand that part either, because you're supposed to make money in these programs because the risk here is very, very high. And take that money and put it in programs that are outside the internet. Things like, a very typical thing, like if you make $500,000 in this program, you can build back rooms, depending on where you are, or maybe at home or somewhere. You can buy shares in fully registered companies. Better yet, you can buy a taxi. I mean, there is so much that can be done. You can maybe take some of the money and buy educational policies for your children. You pay off all your debts and make sure you're debt free. By the time that particular program is no more, you look back and you say, oh yeah, I paid off all my debts. I've paid my bond, maybe, if you are able to do that, or I have invested in this and the other, or I've gotten a retirement annuity even. All I'm saying is, if you participate in these programs and you do not have a business mindset, you're just like someone who's putting water in a bucket that has a hole. It's always almost half empty. You are happy just for a few minutes, and you are very unhappy for a very, very long time. I mean, I met a young lady in Limpopo a few weeks back, and I was told that she had made a lot of money in one of these programs, and she had to sell her car, she had to sell some of the furnitures and give back some of the stuff because that program is no more and she can't afford anymore. That is a very sad story. My question to everyone who's participating in these programs: when you are alone, when there's no one, when you are in your room by yourself and you're thinking to yourself, what are you worth? Are you really worth it to make money? What value do you put on yourself? Because I'll tell you what is killing most of us is fear more than anything else. And what is killing most of us is that no one wants to learn. No one wants to grow. No one wants to put some time in investigating what we are doing. Guys, what we are doing, we are putting money into these things. Therefore, it makes sense that we investigate them, that we learn every day, that we strategize. You cannot just do something without planning on it, without putting a strategy forward. Hey, you need to, even when you are in that program, you need to look at your risk in that particular program. I'll give you just a small typical example. When I did PEC, I said to people, I'm not so much interested in the investment part of it, or what we call the portfolio. I'm interested in the binary. Those of you who know the blue dots and the green dots, yeah, that got me into trouble quite a bit. The phone calls, the inboxes and all that. But that is a strategy, guys. That is the strategy. I assessed my risk on the program, and I assessed the time that I need to be successful in the program, and I thought to myself, excellent, this is what I'm going to concentrate on. This is what I'm going to do. This is where my success will be. You need to plan. You need to strategize. You cannot just do. You can't just put money because your friend is in a program and you join the program. That's not a business mindset. That's not even the right mentality. In fact, that's a bad attitude. Yes, people will bring programs to you. You need to assess the risk, assess them, investigate them, do your due diligence, and then have a strategy out of that. And then put a plan forward how you're going to mobilize your strategy and make money out of the program so that you are successful in that program that you're in. I think I've said my piece. I'll leave it at that today, and hopefully this